Imagine having a son or a daughter. You know their problem, and you know their solution, but you can't get them that solution. Why, you may ask? The answer is simple. Because that solution is illegal. And as a mother or father, your main instinct is to get your son or your daughter or your child that solution. This is the case with many American parents today. They face the problems of illegal medical marijuana use for their children or for themselves in order to fix their son or daughter's problem. Imagine having 54 seizures a day and having them reduced to 4 seizures a day. This is a major reduction, but you can't cause this because the solution is illegal. So when asked the question, should the federal government regulate medical marijuana use, I respond with a resounding no for 3 main points. First, the federal government has more pressing drug addictions that it needs to face. Second, the federal government is hypocritical and doesn't look at problems that it doesn't address laws that it doesn't feel the need to. And third, the federal government is not indicative of a progressive culture as the one we live in today. Firstly, the American government has more pressing problems that it should face. According to Alex Creed of the New York Times in 2014, the federal government isn't looking at the problems that create the crimes in these streets, such as opiums and other drugs. The federal government should look at problems that make America a bad place to live, not the ones that make it a better place to live for more people. In addition, according to the Pew Research Center, in April 2nd, 2014, 67% of people believe that the American government should look at problems like cocaine and heroin addiction. These are the major problems, not medical marijuana. Instead, the federal government should look at these problems and attempt to fix them instead of fixing solutions. Because you can't fix the solution, you can only fix the problem. Secondly, the American government is hypocritical and only addresses laws that it sees fit. Case in point, the Obama administration today. According to Alex Creed in 2014, the Obama administration lacked choice not to enforce the medical marijuana. The marijuana laws is proving good for Denver because they've reached profits over in the millions. Not only is medical marijuana not a problem, but the government isn't addressing the problem that they suppose it is. They are not addressing all the laws, and this is hypocritical. We should stop these laws. If you don't believe this, look at the precedent set by the Supreme Court. In the late 1900s, two people who needed medical marijuana and their caregivers went to the Supreme Court to protest this. And in a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court voted that even small marijuana use should be criminalized. The dissenting opinion believed that this decision would be horrendous to California's medical marijuana laws. However, it was not. This proves that the laws are not being upheld. And if the executive branch does not have to enforce powers that the judicial branch has said that they should, then this shows that there's a lack of power between the branches and that this is injustice for the American people. This is horrible, and we shouldn't allow practice like this to continue. And finally, the federal government isn't indicative of a culture, a progressive culture that Americans today see. According to Pew Research Center, in 1969, the 84% of people were against medical marijuana legalization and 14% of people were against it. This is very different from today in 2014, where 54% of people are for legalization and 44% of people are against. This shows that America's changing as a people. We're progressing as a culture towards a place that wants to provide the best benefit for all people. This can also connect to gay marriage. In the 1967 Loving versus Virginia case, interracial marriage was banned, but today interracial marriage is accepted. This shows not only a culture that is increasing and progressing towards brotherhood and fraternity, but a culture that's wanting its brothers and sisters to unite and to see a better life. Some people need medical marijuana, this is no doubt, and medical marijuana will provide a better life. This is a progressive culture that we see today, and the federal government isn't giving this to the people. In addition, we can't look at precedents set in the late 1967s by Nixon and Reagan eras because they don't work and they also aren't useful for today. We shouldn't look at old things because we're progressing as a culture. We should change our values and our morals, and we should allow people to use medical marijuana. Now, think about having that daughter or that son who has 54 seizures a day. Do you want them to have only 4 seizures a day? Would you like their problems to be addressed? My guess is you would. So when asked the question, should the federal government regulate medical marijuana use, I respond with the resounding no. Thank you.